In this video, we'll be visiting the Hansen House, interviewing the owner of Goodale's, seeing inside the Paddle Hard Brewery, touring all around Grayling, including the Rialto and Hartwick Pines. We'll take you to the high school, the middle school, all around downtown, and a whole lot more.
Hey everybody, it's Amy and Adam, and we are here in fantastic Grayling, Michigan at the super iconic Spike's Keg of Nails, as featured in that 70s show, kind of.
So folks, basically, this is my hometown. I'm gonna give Amy kind of a tour of it. We've got Ryan with us and the Caseys. So we're gonna talk to some locals, we're gonna see the city and give you the fun attractions of one of Northern Michigan's most iconic towns. Let's go ahead and check it out and kick it off right about now. So Amy, I gotta tell you, one of the things you're gonna note about Grayling is tanks and military personnel are all around. In the summer, that's because Camp Grayling is here. And Camp Grayling has been a part of the community since 1913, yeah.
Wow.
It was actually part of a land grant from Mr. Hansen, who is a lumber baron in the area. And they've been practicing military maneuvers and artillery training and all sorts of stuff for over 100 years now. And this is actually in front of the American Legion, but there's a long military history and training history tied back to Grayling. So anytime you come here in the summer, you're gonna see some military folks in and out. They're gonna be stopping and staying, and they're gonna be at Camp Grayling, which is just to the west of the city.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, isn't that neat? And you can check out the tank.
Awesome.
Want to climb on it?
Are you allowed?
I don't know.
Oh, don't get me in trouble.
All right, so this is also pretty cool. You've heard of the Sable River Canoe Marathon.
Yes, I always notice rays in the background at the start of this really, really crazy race.
So this is what? It's called the world's toughest spectator sport? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's 120 miles, Grayling to Oscoda canoe marathon race.
All right, so it's from 1947, the last weekend in July, I believe, every summer. Again, this is pushing 75, 100 years. They've been doing this, and it's from here to the end of the state, basically. Teams of two compete, going all the way across the state. It's a pretty cool thing to see, and this town is world famous, literally, for their canoe marathon. It's
a really, really fun, special experience. We watch every year at the live stream, and we really appreciate the folks that put that on. One day we got to come up here and cheer on our favorite paddlers. Shout out to Brian and Sean.
Yeah, all right. So folks, yeah, definitely make sure to check that out, but that's a really cool aspect of this town as well.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite spots in Grayling. We are at the Rialto, and it's one of the most fun theaters that I've ever had the opportunity to visit.
So this dates back to 1915, so presently 110 years old. They redid it to digital not that long ago. We got to see Ghostbusters Afterlife here a few years ago. I can remember going to the Client here, going to a lot of the old movies back in the 90s, even maybe to the 80s. And yeah, they've done a great job getting new seats and making this thing absolutely fantastic. So if you're in Grayling, make sure to take a night and go to the Rialto. And I can tell you that smell right now is amazing. They're cooking up the popcorn.
You can see the popcorn coming out slowly right now.
So tonight we may have to go train our dragon after going to Spike's, but this is a fun theater, very historic, and a very important part of Grayling's history and legacy that you're not going to want to miss. If you spend a week in Grayling, you should spend 8 nights at the Rialto.
Plus, just if you're a movie lover, you're going to love that community theater experience of going to a movie with other friends, because it's going to be packed. It's going to be the whole town there, everyone watching the same film together. No one's on their phone. It's like, if you're a movie lover, this is a great way to watch and actually experience and enjoy a movie.
This is definitely more of a small town experience when it comes to a theater. Locally owned and operated, not a big movie house. So when you go here, you're supporting a local family, and that's cool too. All right, folks, so we have a local here. This is Ryan, and Ryan is going to tell us a little bit.
Being part of this project, actually. I had the opportunity when they were doing it. It was a community project where everybody got a hold of a singular panel and they had to paint it themselves. And then once it was all finished, they assembled it here on the wall, as you can see. And it was a very successful project when they did it.
So this is the Watershed Art Project. How old do you think this is?
It's been maybe 10 years now, I think, about. So, yeah.
So folks, next what we're going to do is we're going to walk around and I'm going to show you some of my favorite small businesses in Grayling. Just because if you come to Grayling, part of this, the cool heart of this town is that it's a lot of family-owned small businesses, a lot of recognizable names, a lot of recognizable faces. So we're going to show you things like Bear's Den, which I hear is coming back, the Paddle Hard establishment, and some of the businesses in downtown.
Oh.
All right, folks, so this is My favorite pizza places of all time, anywhere in the world, but currently possibly out of business, but there's a sign that says coming back soon, like opening soon.
We're hoping.
The history with this is it was Basili's Pizza, and Basili's was really a fantastic place. Eventually changed names to Bear's Den. Recently closed down because the owners retired, but they had something called Silly Sticks and Bear Sticks. You've had them.
They are some of the best cheese sticks in the whole world. They are so, cheese breadsticks.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. This is like the only pizza place I've ever been to that they automatically bring you out gigantic cups of ranch. Just like, you don't have to ask for it. They just like, are like, here you go.
Midwest style. So Bear's Den, obviously named after Fred Bear, native of this town, bear archery, very famous in the hunting world. But what we hear is this may be coming back, so you'll have to check back and subscribe, because when we do our backup video, our number 2 video, we're going to be able to take you inside and show you Bear's Den is the hope.
Try some bear sticks with you.
Oh yeah. All right, so one of my favorite places, Amy, what is it called?
Paddle Hard.
Paddle Hard Brewery. They're actually celebrating their 10-year anniversary coming up right here. One of the things I like about this is they've used some local decorations, like they used the floor from the old middle school as their wood floor. They've repurposed it. They've got some seating from some of the local high school stuff. Really cool place inside.
It's dog friendly.
Dog friendly. Some great flatbreads. And of course, if you're looking to get breakfast, there's no better breakfast in Grayling, in my opinion, than the Grayling restaurant.
Yeah. And we kind of missed it on the way here, but there's a new restaurant that we tried out tonight called Mi Mezcalito.
Oh.
And it's super, super good, and they give you gigantic portions. So that's a good addition.
So there's a surprisingly authentic Mexican restaurant right here in downtown too, which you wouldn't expect great Mexican food in northern Michigan, but it's pretty darn good. So you're gonna check that out. Now something maybe some of you old school Graylingites can tell us, like the history of these. When I was a kid, this building right here, which is now known as, Ryan, do we know the name?
The Curator. That's the Curator.
The Curator. It was the bicycle shop in Grayling, and before that it was the Half Price Outlet, which everything was half price and was like a dollar store where they had fun pricing. Everything was 50% off, and this was, I believe, Weaver Jewelers. Does anyone remember that?
Yeah, they were downtown for quite a
So we have a lot of cool history. So if you remember a business that's out of business or that you want to mention, go ahead and mention that in the comments. And we're going to take you across the street to see they're building something new. Yeah. That's pretty exciting in Grayling.
It's getting revived.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, folks, so a cool thing is that in this building right in front of us, this is the Hansen building. Again, the lumber baron Hansen. Saab is putting a big factory in the woods near Grayling, and that is now a building associated with Saab. Then next to it is the Grayling Avalanche, which is the local paper. Got Michigan Brew next door, which may or may not be in business because it does say for sale. And then they're building this, some pretty big and impressive, what appear to be some condos or apartments at the end of the street. So that's kind of fun in its own way. I wish it was a hotel. This town needs a little bit better hotel situation, but very exciting what they have going on. And then if you Grayling historians out there want to leave us some comments, right across the street is old Chief Shoppenagons, which was a restaurant, hotel, and bar going back a long time. It's out of business now. It's been out of business probably for 30 years, but a very cool historic piece of Grayling as well. All right, as we walk downtown, there's a historic museum that you can tour. It's only a couple bucks to go inside. A lot of history with the railroad and the lumber industry, as well as fur trade going back in Grayling. This is an older town. And we're gonna walk to world famous Goodale's Donuts, because what is a tour of Grayling without Goodale's Donuts? Probably the best kept secret when it comes to bakeries on the planet, if not the universe. All right, folks, now we're going to take you into my favorite bakery. This is Goodale's. It's still owned by Loren Goodale. He's 86 years old and he works there every single day. We have the opportunity to interview Loren and try out a few donuts, so you're going to want to stick around for that. And I wish you could try every single donut with me. The smell in here is absolutely amazing. And it's the end of the day, so we're very lucky that there's at least a few donuts left. Well, we'll get some tomorrow too, don't worry. Can I get a cherry glaze, please? And you guys, what would you like? I'm getting it. that's smart.
Yes, thank you.
Amanda?
Glazed vanilla fried cake? Yes, please.
So you own Goodale's, right?
Yes, I started this August the 9th, 1971.
Wow.
In the little building next door that used to be the body shop for the Ford Garage.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. So you've been running this now. Your kids also carry on some of the legacy?
My son helps do the mixing. He does the ordering.
Yeah.
He does a lot of the baking.
That's wonderful.
And does the bookkeeping.
Yeah.
And my daughter, she runs the midnight shift. And we are in turn partners.
Wonderful.
I did it as a LLC, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And it ended up that.
So if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I am 86.
86, folks. Isn't that
But
amazing?
I claim to be 20 to 66 years of age.
I like that math.
Is the longevity the donuts?
Yes, yes.
So I think everyone wants to know, what's your favorite donut?
It's according to what time of day. It really is. I mean, I like to start in the morning. Normally I'll have just a plain fried cake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good one.
And then I like my sugar-raised donut.
Okay.
And then I like my cinnamon fry.
Oh, I don't think I've even had that one.
And then I have, I like Bavarian filled, which is the white filling.
Okay.
With maple frosting.
Ooh, that sounds good. I like the custard filling you do as well.
Yeah.
My favorite is that sour cream old fashioned donut.
Yeah.
And Amy, do you have a favorite?
I love the sour cream old fashions, and I like any of your filled donuts because Goodale's gets the ratio right.
There's enough filling.
So many other places they don't put enough filling, and you guys, you don't skimp on it. You got the right amount of dough or the right amount of filling. It's perfect.
And like our Bavarian and our custard, we make that here.
Wow.
I have the privilege of doing that.
So is there any other secrets? It's made with love? Is that the secret? What's
That's
the secret?
the whole secret. I started learning baking from my mother when I was 4 years old.
Wow.
She was Michigan homemaker champion in 1942
Wow.
and 1943.
Yes,
So
sir.
she had two.
Wow. And that's some steep competition. Michigan's got a lot of good homemakers.
And that's where I learned to bake from.
Well, it's amazing, and thank you so much. You are one of the most important parts of Grayling, the history and the culture here, and I personally want to thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, what was your name?
I'm Adam, and this is Amy.
And where, I know your last name.
Oh, Ignash. Yeah, so we'll try to, when we're done, we'll send the guys a link to where you can watch the video, but we'll definitely give you guys a big shout out. So thank you so much for everything you do.
Well, I appreciate my customers, and when I started the bakery, I have some different theories. I don't have a dozen price because that person that comes in every day or 4 or 5 times a week that buys 2, 3, 4 donuts should get as good a price as somebody that comes maybe once a week, once a month, or once a year to get a dozen.
That's wonderful. You have a lot of regulars.
And that's what I said, this way we can keep the prices reasonable. And
That's wonderful. Thank you again.
I know I can't take money with me, so why
Do it
take
right.
a lot?
Well, thank you so much. It's amazing. And we're about to test these 3. The cherry, is it the strawberry cream, and vanilla?
Vanilla glaze.
Vanilla glaze.
All right, so Mr. Goodale was so sweet.
He was amazing.
And yeah, 4 donuts cost us like $4.40 or something. So that's pretty much a buck a donut.
Very well priced.
So this is the one that Amy picked?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to try this. Tear some pieces off. Let's quarter it.
Okay.
And you can give it your first impression.
Smells amazing. Oh, so fresh.
These are even technically pushing day old because they're the end of day.
Wow.
What do you think?
Incredible. Best
No.
donut I've ever had. Except for all the other donuts I've ever had there. It's a tie.
There's clearly some cinnamon sugar in this vanilla donut.
Maybe a little. No, it's so good.
All right. We got another one.
It's the right amount of glaze too, because it like actually seeped into the cake. You know?
Yeah. It's not dry, even though
Right. Yeah. It's like.
I think this is cherry.
No.
Yeah, it's definitely cherry.
Oh wow. It's like maraschino cherry. That's amazing.
Oh, I lost some. This is my favorite donut on the planet. No other donut even comes close.
Except for the old fashioned.
So for reference, this is a cake donut. It's not like a yeast donut.
So good.
Absolutely my favorite.
Why did I get vanilla?
Now this is
Vanilla's
one I've
really
never tried before. This was Ryan's choice. And what is this?
Strawberry?
Strawberry cream, is that right? Strawberry cream. I'll try that as well. It's hard to get the flavor after you've eaten a cherry. I need to cleanse my palate.
They might both be cherry.
No, it's a strawberry cream.
Really?
I cleanse your palate.
Oh, I'm picking up the strawberry. Mm-hmm. Wow.
The cherry flavor is stronger, and the strawberry is more subtle. And you can get the cream in there.
I always like whatever donut I try first the best. So
Did you?
vanilla's my favorite, then cherry, then strawberry.
All right, you take the vanilla, I'll take the cherry. We'll split the strawberry. Cheers. All right, folks. Very famous ice cream place for Grayling is Wimpy's. Yeah, it's got that Popeye theme. They've actually got some pretty good stuff here. Soft pretzels and wings, onion rings, jalapeno poppers, things of the sort, but also known for their ice cream. So you can see how busy this is on a Friday night. For a small town, this place is pretty poppin'. So yeah, make sure to check out Wimpy's as well. And again, if you've been to Grayling before, tell us what your favorite location is within the city. Do you have a favorite hangout, place to get snacks, or a bar? Could be Spike's, could be the Grey Rock Cafe, or maybe you like to go to the Ramada. But go ahead and tell us your favorite places. All right, so we're skipping ahead to day 2 of this, and we're gonna go ahead and take you on a driving adventure. As you can see, it got very rainy. So to supplement our wardrobe, we went ahead and picked up some Grayling Vikings clothing from the copy shop in downtown, and we're gonna drive you through Grayling. I always think this is fun, particularly with small towns, is a snapshot of the town. So you can see what it looks like today, and if you watch this 5 years from now, you'll be like, oh man, I missed the A, B, or C. Are there a couple things in Grayling that are gone that were here the first time you were here?
Well, the Holodome has
The
definitely
Holodome.
changed a lot. So
All right.
We're starting kind of outside of the Ramada here, and it's definitely not as cool as it was in its heyday, and that's kind of sad.
So right behind us is the Ramada Inn, and it used to be the Holiday Inn, and it has a huge indoor pool. It was probably rocking in the 60s and 70s, but it's starting to deteriorate. It's under new management, and fingers crossed they're going to repair it and fix it up, because it is definitely, like she said, not in its best days. They've concreted in the hot tub.
Bring back the hot tub.
Yeah, there's, but the new bar is actually pretty happening. So there's some stuff going on at the Ramada
Pizza's
Inn.
good. Was it Flat Rock? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Flat Rock pizza place in there now that is actually very good. So we're going to give you the driving tour through Grayling, and you'll get to see some of the local businesses. And for you locals that maybe have moved away or whatever, this will be a good opportunity for you to see it. And if you've never seen this small town before, it's going to be fun to take a quick drive through it. All right, so we are leaving the parking lot of the Ramada Inn, the Holiday Inn formerly, the Ramada Dome, or the Holodome, as it's historically called. And this is going to be the entrance to your world-famous Grayling City. Grayling's interesting because it's a stop off I-75, but there's no back on-ramp for I-75. You have to take a business loop, which has always been kind of a deterrent for some business because you can't stop on and stop off as easily without going through the entire business loop. Now, I think it's kind of interesting on the right here. This is a fireworks store year-round, and then there's the Tractor Supply, which I don't know if Amy can go ahead and hang to the right. That used to be the Kmart. That has now switched into a Tractor Supply. Oh, the rain is too bad. You can't see it. All right, show out the front window then. And you may have to zoom in just a little bit. But yeah, we're passing on the left, which you can't quite see on camera, the old Glenn's Market. And Grayling is a good stop-off point for people who want to go to Traverse City. This is where you get off I-75 and you hang a left and go to Traverse City. So that's one of the big reasons people would transverse through Grayling. When I was a kid, the Taco Bell opened in town, and the Grayling Country Club is going to be on your left as well. So pretty fun stuff. Also, there's the Burger King and Subway. The Subway has gone out of business, so if you haven't been in town for a while, you'll note we no longer have a Subway. Any town that can't support a Subway, that's sad. When I was a kid, there was an A&W root beer, which would be on your left from this scene. Over here. It's now kind of a Family Dollar. I think it was a Rite Aid for a while. And there was a A&W root beer kind of old school drive in there. So when you come up here, the 7-Eleven and the Ford dealership. Now, I've always been a fan. There's a Asian restaurant, usually a Chinese restaurant, but I don't know if it's changed, and the BC Pizza off on your right, as well as a Dairy Queen that has been here for a solid 50 years. Coming up, we're going to see where the canoe race starts. And I need to get into the left lane here because this will peter out. At Ray's. And the canoe marathon really is a huge part of this town. Probably understated in this video what an important role the canoe marathon, and again, it starts right there as we showed earlier in the video. A couple of the gas stations and the Grayling video store have recently gone out of business. I don't know why they're not keeping the video store. Any thoughts on the video store, Amy?
I think we should definitely bring that back.
Bringing it back?
Yeah.
Now, Michigan Avenue, as you're seeing right up here, is kind of the main street of Grayling, so we're going to turn down Main Street. We walked it earlier in the video, but you can kind of see. It is a quaint little main street. And Grayling's big enough to where it has its own hospital, so if you go down here far enough, you're going to get to the hospital. The Rialto Theater on your immediate right here. Boop. Very pretty. And the post office. So we've got a little bit of fun stuff over here. And for anyone who's a regular here, you will see coming up on your left, I attended this school for 1 year, is the Grayling Middle School. Any thoughts on Grayling Middle School?
Very fun. It looks like they've redone a lot of this. It seems like it's changed recently, so that's pretty cool.
It looks like they put like a parking lot and a running track where there used to be a street. Like, I think this used to be a street here. And you can see we have a new facade to the middle school. It looks like it's expanded a bit.
Nice.
Yeah. And I really do like the little homes here in Grayling. A lot of them, I assume, are pretty old. Like, I assume that these houses have lasted a few winters here. As long as I can remember.
Have a lot of character.
Yeah, they got a lot of cute houses here. So going back, we're going to go back on Main Street again. Continue the tour. But yeah, there's some cute houses here. One out, there's a bunny. See him running across the street?
Go, bunny, go.
City bunny. So one of the houses that's really well known here is the Hanson House, which I think used to be an Airbnb or a B&B. Not Airbnb, before Air. But the Hanson House was well known and is pretty cool. And then you can see all the way down to, I assume it's called City Hall, but they've actually got the jail and everything right at the end of the street. Like, your courts and your jail and everything else is straight ahead. But this is a beautiful downtown Main Street, right?
Yeah, I love it.
And then if we take a right, it's the I-75 Business Loop, M72. So we're going to do that. There's the copy shop that we bought our shirts at. Goodale's Bakery on your left. there's a little convenience store here. There was Dunkley Flooring on the right. It's probably changed. Now it's Grayling Pharmacy. And Rochette's was the name of this when I was growing up. It looks like it's still called Rochette's. It's a little convenience store. And literally, we're pretty much out of the downtown area now. We're pretty much getting out of it. But yeah, pretty cool area. We're going to drive through. If you take a left here, that would have been M72. That will take you all the way to Traverse City, which is kind of a bigger city that actually has an airport. It's about an hour away. It looks like they built some apartments now.
Oh, nice.
That's new to me.
Wow.
A lot of apartments. Grayling just expanding. I've heard there's a lot of Airbnb in this area now.
Oh, yeah. I did hear that. That makes sense. People coming up. There's lots of lakes and hunting and tourist things. Trout. What is it? Fly fishing?
Bass fishing? I don't know what the fishing is.
Yeah,
Fly fishing?
I don't know what kind of fish they're getting.
They're fish fishing.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. It looks like we got a cemetery on the right. North Downriver Road cut through on the right. And you will see a little small-time airport on your left. There were, like, if you go into history of, like, Bigfoot sightings, there's quite a few fun Bigfoot sightings historically in Grayling as well. Like,
This seems like the kind of place Bigfoot would hang out.
yeah, there's some stories about the military coming up here and being attacked by Bigfoot, and I'm sure it was people playing pranks on each other, but I would like to think there's a few Bigfoot up here.
Oh, it's a Dollar General market. I've never seen one of those.
Nice.
Should check that out.
So this says it's the Camp Grayling Airfield. I wasn't sure the name of what that little airport was. I think I've been to it once for like a air show or something where they had a couple planes parked there. The River Country Motor Lodge and the Woodland Motor Lodge.
Whoa.
So a couple little
Those are
motels. A lot of people come up here for hunting and for snowmobile season. So we're already out of the main area of town, but there's still a few businesses kind of on the outskirts. Grayling Extended Stay Motel. Classic. And if you go enough up here, we're going to see the Grayling High School.
Okay.
As well as a little bit up here is Hartwick Pines, which is a state park, which has some of the oldest trees, I think, in the United States.
Wow.
Some big old...
They are very big. They're impressive.
The story being something to the degree of there was a big fire here in the 1800s, but for whatever reason, and I forget, I think because of the logging, because they did so much logging around this area, there's one small patch that didn't get burned. So those trees are super old. So the fact that there was kind of a fire barrier from
That makes sense.
logging around the state park, basically. So there's these big, big pines that are still around. And some of the oldest pines around. And then, yeah, Grayling's had a couple issues with forest fires in the past, as you can imagine.
Right.
Because when a forest fire comes through here, there's no stopping it. You know what I mean? Like, the city will get together and try to stop what they can, but it'll jump a highway. There's not much that's going to slow a forest fire in Grayling, you know?
Yeah, wow.
So coming up on our left, we're going to see the world famous, I keep saying that, the world famous Grayling High School. I attended this, very proud of Grayling High School. I think when I went to Grayling's High School, we had about 80 people graduate in my graduating class.
Wow, that's like really small.
So it's probably a little bigger now. I think we had more people in our class. We only had 80 graduate. Like 89 or something like that. People graduate. And then, if I'm not mistaken, they built this field after like the football stadium after I graduated.
That looks like a really nice football field.
Yeah, and I think it's named after Coach Ferguson, who was the wrestling coach and former football coach. He had, at least at the time, the most wins of any wrestling coach in Michigan history.
Wow.
So the Coach Ferguson Field. I always like, my friend JT recommended that they call it Valhalla since it's the Grayling Vikings.
Ah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that always stuck with me. I thought that would be a cool name. So they've added on to this high school since when I went here. This all wasn't here. So they've either expanded or they've just got more money. But yeah, Grayling High School.
So it kind of looked the same from the front, but all this is new?
Yeah, all this new brick on the side
Oh, nice.
is they added to it. So and I'm sure they needed to expand. And
They got a fitness center back there. That's
yeah,
cool.
very cool. Tennis courts in the back.
Ooh, nice.
Interesting. And then
Volleyball?
back in the woods here, there's a lot of like baseball fields and soccer fields and stuff like that for practicing.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can remember, if you can imagine, this parking lot, because it's a very snowy area.
Right.
Grayling is a very snowy area. And baseball season, they would plow at the beginning of practices for tryouts and stuff. They'd plow this area, and it would still be snow on the ground, at least the years I played. And you would try out for the team, whether it was in the gymnasium or out here, and you'd play kind of still in the snow,
That's fun.
which is fun. But yeah, it is a cold, snowy area. All right, what was your 2 cents on the Lady Vikings?
Well, so I'm noticing now that a lot of the Grayling Viking stuff has like the girl Viking on it now. So
Okay.
we picked up a T-shirt that had the girl Viking design, and that's a really cool update improvement. I've seen a lot of your old Viking stuff, and it just had the boy on it.
Yeah,
So
now there's a female Viking with it.
Is it just the Lady Vikings, or are they calling them Valkyrie? Are they leaning
that
into
would be
that?
cool.
'Cause I think that'd be really cool.
That'd be cool. Are Valkyrie Vikings? I don't know what the...
I think it's close enough.
It's close enough. I don't even know. I don't know if that ties to mythology, but I think they should call them Vikings and Valkyrie.
I agree.
Oh my god, that would be cool. All right, so suggestion for the ladies basketball team and ladies football team, Valkyrie.
Yeah.
So we're headed to Hartwick Pines, and this turtle decided to stop in the road. And I feel like he's not going to make it if we don't hurry him along. You think I don't know, you think we should get out? All right, you record me. I'm going to see if we can encourage him to keep walking.
Come on, buddy, you can do it.
All right, buddy, keep stepping. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You keep going. Come on. Come on, keep going, buddy. No, no, no. Whoa, don't bite me. That didn't work. Come on, keep going.
This normally works much better with Florida turtles. They are a lot friendlier. Okay.
All right, so I know how to pick up a Florida turtle, but I don't know how you're supposed to pick up those turtles. And he did not seem to want to be picked up, but I don't want to run him over either.
I hope the next person sees him.
Yeah, the next guy's going around him too, but he need to keep walking.
That was so scary.
There's a guy in a truck maybe trying to help him out now too. He's like, I don't know if there's
I'll
got
help him. Yeah, there's got to be a way. Maybe he's got turtle gloves or.
maybe, because like with a Florida turtle, you can pick him up on both sides, but I don't think he wanted to be picked up on both sides, honestly.
I'm glad I didn't let Biscuit out with you.
Yeah. So we tried to help that turtle. Now another man is trying to help that turtle. It seemed like, hey, he's got his flashers on to make sure people don't run over that turtle. That's nice of him.
That's good Michigan friendly.
All right, so failed mission trying to help the turtle. Let's go to Hartwick Pines.
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, if you get a chance and you're in the Grayling area for a while, the Hartwick Pines State Park has some great walking trails, hiking trails, nature trails, and things of the sort. They've got all sorts of settlers' days and some exhibits to check out, an old church in there, and all sorts of fun stuff. So Hartwick Pines is a good adventure if you need a day's activity while you're in northern Michigan. All right, Grayling Turtle Report. That man has just picked up the turtle. He's trying to get it across the road. He has made it. He has saved the turtle. I was worried. This man came. That lady just saved the turtle. Oh, no, the man did. Good job. Good job, lady. We appreciate you. And the turtle made it.
I like
And
that.
there's another one. There's another one. There's a second turtle crossing the road. This is just
Well,
turtle crossing season.
He made it, so
That's
good.
yeah. That one's just like if you would have just left me alone to begin with. He looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah,
So did you get that there was 2 turtles there? That was
Yes.
crazy.
that was wild.
The biggest thing that's happened in Grayling this weekend.
I'm glad that everyone stopped for that. So
There was at least 4 cars stopped to help the turtle, and I
Okay.
caused that chaos.
Well, the turtle caused the chaos, to be fair.
All right, another happy report across from Rochette's. The Subway just moved. They're not out of business. So we still have a Subway. The town is thriving.
And Bear's Den is coming back.
Heck yeah. So I'm going to tell Amy a little bit the story. This is now the Rolling Oak Brewery. So we have a little brewery in town. We have a couple. But this building was actually an ice house. So they would cut ice blocks out of Lake Marguerite, pack them in sawdust, store them in this building, and then they would put them on rail cars to keep the rail cars refrigerated when going across the country.
Wow.
So this is the historic ice house of Grayling. Now it is Rolling Oak Brewery. So a cool history, little tidbit. Grayling's got a lot of fun history because the town does date back to the pioneer days, I guess it would be called.
Wow.
And we previously talked about what was the ice house, now the Rolling Oak Brewery. Well, here it is. I think this section is for people who like to drink alone. George Thorogood and others. All right, folks, and we are walking up to the Hansen House now. This is historic. Rasmus Hansen, the lumber baron we've talked about a lot in this. This was built in 1890. Beautiful house in town, and it is now not just a historic home, but it is a bed and breakfast. It's been redone really beautifully, and everybody talks about it. I've never actually stayed here, but yeah, if you get a chance, you can go online and you can book a room at the Hansen House, get your bed, get your breakfast. It is truly a beautiful place. And yes, they even got some signs in the front yard noting this. Amy, isn't this beautiful?
It's beautiful, and I love the location. We're just like a block off of downtown and everything.
Yeah, we walked here. We got lunch at the new Mexican place in town. And we thought we'd walk and show you the Hansen House because this is definitely worth a quick view. You can see they've done a great job with all the flowers. And I feel like when I was a kid, they've definitely redone this since when I was a kid. You can see the new windows and the new siding and the fact that it's all painted up. I feel like it was always just super white when I was a kid, and it wasn't always a bed and breakfast. So it's nice that they've done a great job restoring it. And everyone I talked to has said that it's beautiful inside. So if you get a chance, definitely give this one a stay. So now we're walking again past the middle school, right? And something that was very nice, we're just kind of walking downtown after lunch. We saw quite a few people whose names and faces we recognize, whether it was hanging out with the Caseys or some of my best friend's mom, like just seeing people. And I think that's the benefit of a small town, particularly growing up in a small town, is if you come back 30 years later, you're going to run into Brock or Dana or just somebody that you're like, oh man, I recognize you. And that is a very nice part of the friendly atmosphere of a small town.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you kind of noted that as well as, I only lived here for 5 years, but my closest connections are in this town.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful, warm feeling.
Also, I don't know how well we covered that earlier in the video, but when we were driving to Hartwick Pines to go check the place out, there was a big turtle in the road. I stopped to try to help him and apparently just upset him. He was stopped completely and he was going to get run over because it was a moderately busy street. But then other cars behind me also stopped. I left at some point because I was doing no good. I was not helping anything.
And I think
turtle expert came, and she was able to help him completely across the street.
Yeah. So turtle was saved. And then, yeah, there was actually, they want to be in 2 of these turtles. And if anyone knows what kind of turtle it is, let us know. If that was in Florida, that would look most like a alligator snapping turtle, but I doubt that's what it was. But yeah, anyway, they were able to get them out of the road, get them both out of the road and to safety and not run over. So, turtle crisis averted.
Yeah, and kudos to the people of Grayling for looking out for turtles.
All right, folks, and I do want to show real close in the industrial park. So a unique location is what's called the Gray Rock. And this is a cafe, kind of a parody on the Hard Rock. And it's a pretty nice little bar. They've got like line dancing lessons for the older folks at night. But this is a fun little cocktail lounge that people who are regulars and locals will stop at this place for good prices on drinks. And they've got some food too.
So I think that was another successful trip to visit your hometown in Grayling.
Yeah, we're headed back south now to head to the airport and see my folks on I-75. But, I love Grayling. I always try to stop there when I can. To me, that town is special. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot more heart and history than a lot of other small towns. But there's a lot of cool towns in Michigan and around the world. So, what was your favorite aspect of Grayling? What was your favorites?
I really liked that new Mexican restaurant. That was fun.
Top 10.
Mi Mezcalito. Big shout out to them. They're really great.
We didn't get to show the inside of the restaurant in the video, but it is really cool inside. So if you get to it, go to downtown and check out the Mexican restaurant.
Sure. I loved going by Paddle Hard. Goodale's always best donuts in the world, and meeting Mr. Goodale himself, that was pretty special. And of course, hanging out with the Caseys, always my favorite.
Yeah, Loren was very cool. That was great to hear. Afterwards, we talked to him for another 20 minutes. He told us that he's got like a house. He's got 30 acres off M72. And then he's got a house that is covered in 3 feet of dirt. And he showed us pictures of the house. And from what I hear, he does a lot of good work with the Boy Scouts, and every year he brings them over because he's got a bunch of model trains in his house. And he shows that off, and he does Christmas decorations, and he and Gerald Casey and a bunch of other locals have raised money for the Boy Scouts. In fact, we'll have Gerald Casey coming up with a little musical interlude to play us out. He plays a song, I forget the name, but something Amy, and he transitions over to Alice's Restaurant, my favorite Arlo Guthrie song.
Super fun. Well, I guess we should close out, but what do we got coming up, Adam?
Well, we've got a lot of our videos from our trips to Asia. Our YouTube channel is currently demonetized by YouTube. They said we were recycling content too much, which I don't know about. So we had to delete some of our videos from 10, 15 years ago. The good news is we're still making content because we're just doing this for us at this point. We wanted to share off our trips and adventures and our favorite places. So we do have a trip to China coming up. In the YouTube videos, we've got some Thailand, we've got Japan, we've got Cancun that we're about to go to next month.
Yeah.
We're going to show some of the coolest resorts. We went to a 7-star resort in China that just published, so make sure to check that out.
Yeah, we're getting married later this year.
Yeah,
in
September.
Fabulous Las Vegas, and I'm sure we'll have some fun stuff from that.
Yeah, so go ahead and click subscribe, but because we're kind of on the outs right now with YouTube, you have to click the notification bell for your notifications. You may be watching this on Facebook, which is also just a fun platform. We kind of do this as our own digital scrapbook, so it's fun, but it's actually got quite a few followers and fans. I think we just recently surpassed 150,000 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you for that. But yeah, Grayling was a lot of fun. It was cool to see Bear's Den. It was cool to see the new apartments, and I can't wait to come back in about 5 years and see what's changed in Grayling, because there will be some subtle changes, some new businesses, and probably some massive changes too.
You'll have to do an update.
All right, so let us know if there's any other locations that we should cover. Maybe Higgins Lake, maybe Roscommon, maybe Gaylord, Michigan, West Branch even, which we're about to cross through right now.
Ooh.
And that was a lot of fun. So thank you to all of our cameos, Ryan, the good folks at Paddle Hard, the folks at Goodale's, the Caseys, and everyone in between.
Adios, amigos.
Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends. All right, let's see what you got. Pretty. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, Alice's best friend.